The longest conference of the PVL is coming to an end. But before we turn to the first game of the championship round, let's turn our attention to two teams who still have a lot to fight for. For Akari and Choco Mucho, their disappointment in the semifinals can be a story of redemption as a podium finish is still up for grabs. This is the battle for bronze in the PVL, the heart of volleyball.
All roads lead to the Smart Araneta Coliseum here in Quezon City for the culmination of the 2025 PVL All-Filipino Conference. But before we dive into all the finals action, we gotta witness this battle of redemption first. Now for Eli Soyud, who we saw a while ago, and for CC Rondina, it's going to be a fight to the finish for these two squads. We got Akari, we got Choco Mucho, and they want that podium finish today, and they're gonna fight with all their might. Same thing goes, of course, with Ivy Laxina, who is going head-to-head today with none other than Dina Wong of the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. It is a battle for the bronze. Our first offering for today's Tuesday doubleheader, we have the Akari Chargers taking on the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. And later on, an epic battle between the Green Line Cool Smashers and the Petrogas Angels for finals game 1. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you may be. You can catch us on the Filipinas Live app, One Sports and One Sports Plus. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Billy Capistrano. And joining today to give us all the latest from the sidelines, we have our courtside reporter, Miss Lexi Rodriguez. Great to be working with you today, Lex.
So excited to be working with two beautiful women as well.
I can say the same thing about you, of course. And of course, we have our partner, my partner over here, Miss Ayel Estranero. And Ayel, sabi ko nga kanina, it's going to be a battle of redemption for these two teams. They may not have reached their ultimate goal of making it to the finals and winning that championship, but a new challenge arises today.
Oh, that's right. That's why they have to quickly shift their mindset to the podium finish. Team cohesion, consistency, intensity will matter the most for both teams.
Absolutely. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's talk about these two teams even further, the journeys they went on in the semifinals, as well as the players who stepped up for these two squads during the semis. We start things off with the Akari Chargers. Let's take a look at what happened to them in the semifinals, because it was a strong start and kind of fizzled out towards the end.
That's right. The Akari Chargers started the semifinals with an impressive 5-setter win against the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, but the Chargers failed to display the same kind of intensity and composure against a more experienced team in Creamline and Petrogas. And despite the good defense of Hazaren and Sotones, that was not enough for them to get those wins against the bigger teams.
An unfortunate end to their semifinals appearance here for the Akari Chargers. Ang dami nilang pinagdaanan, diba? Not just in the preliminary round, but also in the semifinals. But really, we have to talk about that game number 1. It was the highlight of the semis for them. I covered that match. I was speechless with a lot of their plays, especially with the heroics here of Eli Soyud and Michko.
Oh, that's right. I mean, Eli Soyud was a revelation in that match. Her offensive efficiency and decision-making spelled the difference against Choco Mucho. On top of that, 7 kill blocks for her. But in that success of Soyud, Michko was in the helm. She steered the offense smoothly with confidence, relying on the right attacker in the crucial moments of the match. And she covered her zone like a libero. 11 great digs for her. So that connection of Cobb and Soyud will be a crucial key factor today against Choco Mucho.
Yeah, as you talked about and as you guys nitpicked about the past games, I want to talk about as well the past conference, this exact conference, the past month, and how it has been for the Akari Chargers. You know, this conference has been a story of opportunities and an opportunity for growth, for a lot of things to prove for themselves as a young team. And you know what? Mitch Croft, their captain, told me that this conference as well was a chance for them to prove that they can be much better, that they have a lot to prove, they have a lot to fight for as a young team. And speaking of that, this conference as well is what they want to refer to as a Kayod conference. Kasi you know, they really tried and worked hard to get to the finals. They did not expect as well to get to the finals, but they're here right now and they really want to finish strong.
And that is something that the Akari Chargers as well as Mitch Cobb, they really need to be proud of that feat, making it here to our battle for the bronze. Alam naman natin na lumaban sila in the semifinals. Ayan.
I mean, it was tough for them. They had to, play 10 sets to be able to reach the semifinals. And, winning against Choco Mucho, but then losing their previous last 2 games. But a big opportunity again for them to finish in the podium.
And speaking of the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, we focus on this squad and their journey in the semis. And we're not going to sugarcoat anything. Ayel, it was really a tough uphill climb for this team.
Very tough battle for them. They won many 5-setter matches, is confidence, but they ran out of 5-set magic against Akari with several injured players. The Flying Titans have struggled to find enough support for CC Rondina. They lost against Petrogas in 4 sets, swept by Creamline with Rondina and Isa Molde were limited to single-digit scoring. So both players, CC Rondina and Isa Molde, have to step up big today.
And despite the series of unfortunate events that have plagued them all throughout this conference, we gotta commend this team for really putting up a good fight all throughout. And the silver lining for this, even though severely undermanned, was really the emergence of their key players. Bagit mo nga sila, Isa Molde and CC Rondina.
I mean, both players highly resilient. The main gunners of the Flying Titans, Rondina's scoring ability is the lifeline of Choco Mucho. 61 points in the semis. Isa Molde, 32 points with CC Rondina. Killer instinct already given, but her endurance will be tested. Meanwhile, Isa Molde, her overall game will matter the most today. She is there as a starter and she will be a key in terms of offense.
Well, absolutely. But you were talking about Isa Molde, and during the dugout, I swung by, and then Isa was really like, I'm so tired. They really had the choke daw sila during that semifinals, and you really can't deny the disappointment. But for them, it's all about finishing strong as well. These 2 teams, halos parehas sila ng mindset to finish strong. But for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, they're more of a veteran team, and they really had a rocky start this conference. But CC Rondina told me that despite that rocky conference start, they've had a lot of ups and downs. They're veterans. They know how to turn it around, to shift the mindset. They know when to actually feel more confident. And this is the moment for them to shift that kind of mindset, right? But, the kind of mindset as well that we really love hearing is actually the PVL fans. And we know that this battle for bronze is going to be a feisty one, and it's going to be a crazy one. That is why we want to hear from you. And we have a Filipinas Live app poll question for you. And that is, which hero will deliver a Game 1 win? Is it number 24, Eli Soyud of the Akari Chargers, or number 18, CC Rondina of the Choco Mucho Flying Titans? You can join in the conversation using the hashtag PVL2020.
All right, there you have it. And with that, the stage is finally set. When we come back, it is the Akari Chargers versus the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. The battle for the bronze, only here on Filipinas Live.
Gentlemen, welcome to the Smart Araneta Coliseum in Quezon City, Philippines. This is Game 1 in the battle for third in the PVL All-Filipino Conference 2025 between the Akari Chargers and the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing our international officials for this match. Our first referee from Hong Kong, Adams Wong. The second referee from the Philippines, Mary Joy de Imos. And now let's meet the starters. First for the Akari Chargers. Center from De La Salle University, number 6, team captain Michelle Cobb. Outside spiker from San Sebastian College, Recoletos, number 5, Gretzel Soltones. Middle blocker from the University of Santo Tomas, number 10, Camille Victoria. Middle blocker from the Far Eastern University, number 13, Seth Domingo. Outside spiker from the National University, number 16, Ivy Laxina. Opposite hitter from Adamson University, number 24, Ellie Soyud. Starting libero from La Salle, number 15, Justine Hazareno. Head coach for Akari is for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. Outside spiker from the University of Santo Tomas, number 18, team captain, C.C. Rondina. Outside spiker from the University of the Philippines, number 1, Isa Molde. Center from De La Salle University, number 9, Mars Alba. Opposite hitter from the University of Perpetual Help System Delta, number 15, Royce Tupino. Middle blocker from Arellano University, number 17, Lorraine Pecania. Middle blocker from De La Salle Dasmariñas, number 22, Cherry Lunag. Starting libero from Adamson University, number 16, Tang Ponce. And the head coach for Choco Mucho is Dante Alinsudurin. This game is held under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. Game 1 in the battle.
You can see the starters on your screens for the Akari Chargers. Domingo Victoria Soyod, Cobb Laxina Soltones, and Justine Hazareno, their libero. And over on the other side now for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, we have Lunag, Pecania, Tobino, Alba, Rondina, Molde, and of course, Tang Ponce. It is a battle for the bronze between these two teams, Akari versus Choco Mucho. Billy Capistrano here with my partner Ayel Estranjero, Lexi Rodriguez giving us all the latest news from the sidelines on these two squads as we prepare for set number 1.
This is going to be big for both teams. Both teams that struggled a lot during the elimination round. Tough wins in the quarterfinals. Failed to be in the finals. But a big opportunity for them to still finish in the podium. Choco Mucho with their first point.
And I definitely agree with you on that one, Ayel. I mean, right now, sabi ko nga kanina at the top of the coverage, it's going to be about pride for these two squads, a battle for redemption for the two of them. And all you really want to do is finish the conference strong.
That's right. Especially get this game 1
in the bag, yeah. You got to start strong here. Rondina fighting to the block. That's a good save from Mitch Cobb. Here comes Rondina again. Different approach. Laxina will try. Nothing. Alba will send this one to Tobino from the left. Gets it to go.
And we talked about this on top of the coverage. CC Rondina will be the main gunner but the support, the contribution of other players will make the biggest difference. Tubino can be that other scorer here for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans.
Napapansin rin natin na medyo napapagod na, especially in that last game against Creamline. Cici was very, very tired down the stretch in that game. She scored only 7 points, if I'm not mistaken. Possibly her lowest output, no? This entire conference. I mean, we all know how explosive she can get. It's a 2-point lead for Choco Mucho. So far, so good. They send this one to Laxina, straight to the hands of Cici. Molde rolls it over. Good dig from Soltones. Here comes Soyud. Popped up. Albat with a toss to Royce. Way too much angle.
And lack of risk action there from Tubino. Long rally there. Great defense from both teams. But both teams couldn't convert. Ended the rally with an error there.
Thank you for joining us on Pilipinas Live and One Sports Plus this beautiful Tuesday. As Eddie Soyod, little too strong on the service error for the Chargers. Another point for Choco Mucho. Nunag only scored 2 points in their match versus Creamline. Looking for a bit more also from the middles here of the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. Well, there's going to be a timeout for Akari.
Kaya man, go now, one right. Backside. Tatlo lang yan. Super bitin. Hanapin mo yung kamay. Watch na. Okay, hey! Honey! Chargers!
Welcome back, everybody. You're still tuning in the battle for bronze of the PVL All-Filipino Conference. You know, Billy and Ayel, as I was checking the sidelines, the Flying Titans' disappointment in that semifinals is already a done deal. They moved on and they've identified that decision-making was really the issue during that stretch. But Royce Tubina told me that they've recovered well to prepare for the battle of bronze. And she said, as you get older, you know, you realize that more than just the strategy and the skill, it really isn't just about that. It's also about mental toughness, and in grueling matches like this one, that becomes the ultimate test. As for their approach tonight, Tubina said that they're going back to basics. They want to tighten their floor defense, and after all, they know that there's no more room for hesitation. This is about finishing strong and playing with what they call a tight pride.
Thank you so much for that, Lex. Royce Tubino, really one of the veterans of this Choco Mucho team. A lot of experience under her belt. And tama nga naman yung sinabi niya kay Lexi, it's all about discipline to going back to the basics because it was a really dominant win versus Creamline.
And mental toughness as well. Something that they failed to display in the tail end of their semifinals match against Akari. So definitely Choco Mucho just not wanting a win today in game one, but wanting, as you mentioned earlier, redemption as well.
And in that game one in the semis, it was a run here for Akari to finish things off. Not the best way to end that match here for the Flying Titans. Take a look at that scoreboard. 3-point lead though for Choco Mucho. But we have Sed Domingo on deck to serve for the white shirts. That's a good serve. Chance here for Akari. Cobb with a toss to Soltones is denied.
No coverage there from the Akari Chargers.
Technical timeout. We'll be right back. Arena Plus, Stigs Sports. We're back here to Smart Araneta Coliseum. Isa Molde serving now for Choco Mucho. Victoria with a quick one. Nothing yet here. They go to Cici Rodina. That sails outside for Cici. Miscalculates the angle.
Yeah. Wanting to avoid the blockers there. She knows that Akari is a team that is good in blocking. They tallied a total of 16 kill blocks in their semi-finals match. So Cici Rodina wanting to be more careful in this match.
You have to be a little bit craftier as well with attacks that they come up with. As Cobb will serve. 3-point lead, Choco Mucho. That was a good serve. They go to Rodina. Another, oh, this time it's gonna go to Choco Mucho. There's a check. Akari saying there wasn't any. Are they gonna call a challenge? They will. That's gonna be our first challenge of the day. Block touch. Sabi ng Akari, wala daw. And they were pretty confident also, right when it happened, when they called that a point for Choco Mucho. Biglang tumingin, di ba? Yung players ng, nagsusumbong yung players ng Akari sa coaching staff nila.
So this could be a good challenge for them. I mean, Cici Rodina wanting to go above the net defense of Ellie Soyud.
Well, we will see, because right now it is a 4-point advantage here for Choco Mucho. A pretty slow start, I would say, IL, for these two teams in terms of the tempo and the pace of the game.
The exchanges as well.
Let's take a look at this. Was there a block touch? Parang wala. I feel like the pinky was already bent.
Yep.
So mukha lang na scrape ng ball yung pinky finger, but successful challenge for Akari.
Good challenge. Much-needed point for them. Just to keep it close here against Choco Mucho.
Just a 2-point lead to the Flying Titans. That was read well by Hazareno. They go to Soltones. Still nothing for Gretchel. Rodina, drop is good. Smart move from Cici.
Great adjustment there from Cici Rodina. Couldn't convert with the power hits. This time just slowing things down. Soltones has a good read on that. Medyo nauna pa nga siya going for the dive. So good point there for Choco Mucho.
And we're talking about her varying her attacks against the blockers. Speaking of blockers of the Akari Chargers, we got Victoria getting one for herself here in this match.
And the Mitch Cobb has shown great connection with the middles. Victoria and Domingo has been contributors as well. They are always on that scoring board for Akari.
And Victoria now averaging 4.2 points per game here in the All-Filipino Conference. That's going to be a violation called on Victoria.
So free point here for Choco Mucho. That would not help Akari here. Still playing catch up.
3-point lead. As Ayel mentioned, what is Akari gonna do? They go to Laksina. They bump this one to Cici, elevating. Joust at the net, one by Rodina, one of the smallest players on the court as well, Ayel.
And the Cici knows that the blocking will be present right in front of her. So she needs all the court awareness and the sense of urgency, just like that one winning the joust against Victoria.
Their hesitation from Rodina. They bump this one to Soyod. She's blocked. Read well there. She'll try again, asking for it. Little too tight. Will make do. They save this one. Easy over chance for Akari. Laksina blocked. Good cover from Hazareno. She'll try one more time. Gets it to go.
A great placement shot there for Laksina. Getting blocked on the cross-court angle. Shifting the angle, going down the line. It's going to be a game of adjustments for both teams.
I mean, they have faced each other. This is their third time, right? Third time here in our All-Filipino Conference. Remember, that semifinals game on, we keep talking about it because match na match talaga sila in that game. And that's going to be an ace here for Camps Victoria. She has 2 points so far.
Yeah, challenging the best receiver of Choco Mucho and Tang Ponce there.
And obviously, Coach Dante not happy with how that turned out. Victoria will try again. Alba finds Nunag. Still nothing. Laksina will adjust. Single block. But she will try again. Blockers were there, but they're asking for a foot fault, I believe.
Yep. Of that Laksina attack.
Kind of looked like, well, we have to see the replay to see if her whole foot was actually on the other side.
But you also see that sense of urgency coming from Choco Mucho.
But yung mga ganito na mid-play, medyo risky din kasi yung pagtawag ng challenge during these times, because if it is unsuccessful, automatically the point, right, will go to the opposing team.
So you must be so sure for you to call this challenge, because you don't want to lose a challenge and you don't want to give a free point to your opponent.
This is going to be crucial. Was there a center line? Yep, absolutely.
Very clear.
Kasi lumusot na talaga si Ivy sa kabilang side. So, good eye also by Cherry Nunag. I believe that was her trying to signal for a challenge.
So, Choco Mucho still keeps the lead in the set.
Lots of composure here for Choco Mucho. That's a miscue from Akari.
And you appreciate the efforts of Mitch Kopp to activate the middles, to create that spacing in the net defense of Choco Mucho. But Choco Mucho has been so good anticipating that one.
2 attack points now for Rondina. That's a good serve. Here comes Soyud, popped up by Cici. Isabolde, dug up. Laksina, it's still alive. But Laksina will get the point.
So far, it has been Laksina having the hot hands for the Akari Chargers. Tight set, but still powered through the hands of Nunag.
So far, 3 points now for Ivy Laksina. Next to her is Camps Victoria with 2 points.
So you're a bit quiet in the start.
She's just warming up, but needs to act fast here versus Choco Mucho in the first set. Good series of events here, but Laksina again continues with the firepower in the first set for Akari.
Laksina is in a mindset wherein she wants to bounce back. She only scored 8 points in the semifinals match against Choco Mucho, so she wants to get a bigger output today.
Alba will find Isa Molde. Drop ball, read well. Laksina again. Not this time. Chance for Akari. Running attack. They're going to chase it. Another chance for the white shirts. Couple of chances here. Laksina challenging the blockers. It is sent back. Time for Choco Mucho to set up a play. And there's a whistle. Violation called on Ivy Laksina.
Just a lot of net touches here coming from Akari Chargers. I mean, Choco Mucho is already scoring their own points, but Akari helping them out with some freebies.
For unforced errors now for Akari. Another running attack. Read well. Blocked by Isa Molde. Laksina again. Molde.
Great defense from Hazareno.
Great hustle also from the Chargers. Isa will try again. We got a rally here. Laksina with a push. Nothing yet. They try Sotones. Rolls it over. Good dive from Alba. Tobino.
A long rally again.
And they get a lucky point. Talking about the Akari Chargers, kaya natawa na lang si Eddie Soyud.
Clearly a miscue there on the Choco Mucho Flying Titans.
But a point is a point. They'll take it. They cut the lead down to just 2 points. So Akari playing catch-up here. We're sensing not a lot of explosiveness, no? From these two squads early on.
Feeling, the intensity that they had in that semifinals match.
And very clear here. Pero sabi nga ni Lexi, pagod na yung Choco Mucho. I'm sure pagod na din itong Akari. Right, that's right. Great defense from the Chargers. Credit that to the great play, that great sequence.
But endurance, as you mentioned, both teams, it has been a long conference. Already tired. Endurance is gonna be key here. So Tones finding the right placement to get that point.
Great job from Justine Hazareno as well, manning the floor defense.
She has been stable.
Absolutely. Great to have her back as well here in the PVL. That's outside for Molde. And there's going to be a timeout called by Coach Dante.
Yung bola sa atin, pag chance ball naman, spacing na, nawawala yung spacing natin, lahat ng bola natin nandito. Yung side off, walang problema kung saan, pero yung side, natin, chance ball, kailangan spacing tayo. Okay, mahirap kumpensa ng walang spacing, ha? Okay, yun lang, ha? Sige, pasa lang muna tayo, side out tayo, then break point natin, importante, spacing, ha? Go.
Gote! Ay, Choco Mucho!
Important reminders there from Coach Dante. He's pointing out na pag out of system, okay lang that we go to simple plays, wing attackers, but pag may chance ball, let's make sure we create spaces on that net defense of Akari. As you see Fifi Sharma on your screens, Abby Maraño as well beside her.
Of course, we all know who they're supporting. Well, especially Abby. We know Fifi has not played in the past couple of games here for the Chargers, but full-on support for her teammates. But Choco Mucho overtakes Akari, but there's going to be a substitution here for the Chargers. Danny Ravena checks in for the first time for Ivy Laksina.
To play as a defense specialist here for Akari.
And that's going to be a service ace for the Flying Titans. 2-point lead for them. We'll be right back.
Still serving for the Flying Titans, Royce Tupino.
SB Finance, ang BFF na malalapitan. Let's get back to this match at hand. It's Akari versus Choco Mucho here. Welcome back with a point from the Chargers, care of Gretch Soltones.
Soltones, probably the most experienced and veteran player here for the Akari Chargers. So you can expect her to really step up in moments like this, in games like this.
It's a couple of games due to an injury, I believe, for Gretch. Glad to see her back and leading this squad again. 1-point lead for Choco Mucho. Akari needs a good swing. Unable to do that. Alba will put on her spiking hat. But unfortunately, that goes the way of the Chargers. Outside for Alba. Medyo alanganin na rin kasi.
A good intention. She saw that hole at zone 5 but wasn't in the best position to go for that attack.
We're tied 16-all. Alba to Isa Molde, fighting her way through. It's still alive as they send this one over. Mars. No go here. Here comes Rondina. And that goes to Cici, the cherry bomb.
Mars Alba actually No, helping out Rondina, not loading her up early on in this match. Probably the first set in the back row for Rondina, and she converts right away.
CC now with 4 points. Cobb with a 1-2 play. Good hustle there from Villa General. They go to Soltones. Cross score is dug up. Chance for the white shirts. Mitch. Babalik kay Gretchen over the blockers. Goal.
Gretchen Tones faking that one perfectly. Going for that explosive approach, and as a classic attack for Gretchen Tones, just tipping it over right behind the blockers.
Adjustment for Gretchen Tones. We also have some adjustments here for Coach Taka. Camille Cal will check in for Mitch Cobb. So we're tied 17 all.
Yeah, so far Akari with great floor defense.
Alba to CC, challenging the blockers of Akari. This time, Gretch will try, does the same thing. Rondina again, she is blocked.
And so far, the middles of Choco Mucho, they are a non-factor here.
This block of the set is brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL All-Filipino Conference.
And that's why there's always 2 blockers there right in front of CC Rondina. So Mars Alba has to find a way to activate the middles.
Needs to get everybody involved, especially in a very important match like this one. Cal finds Gretch. Digs deep.
And that's the intensity who we've been trying to look for.
Myra point of the set brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. Choco Mucho will call for time.
Pandarin mo lang. Huwag mo masyado i-direct. Mag-short dito, pandarin mo lang. Para at least may option tayo. Guys, yun ang sitwasyon. Every time na mag-off tayo, may 2 block. Cover naman tayo, ha? Cover tayo. Then maganda, mag-receive tayo. Ito muna tayo. Hoy, ate. Receive tayo, ito tayo, tapos ganun tayo. Pag wala.
A lot of instructions there from Coach Dante. Hindi natin makita yung board niya, but a lot of instructions to Mars Alba in orchestrating their offense. As you see, the other members of the Flying Titans, Micah Ortiz, din in Santiago Manaba, Reg Arocha, and you have Catalentino, obviously supporting their team.
And we talked about them, you know, Choco Mucho severely undermanned here, especially in the latter part of our All-Filipino Conference. Alba to Pecanya. And finally, the middle blockers, as requested by IL, na kailangan i-activate. Ito na daw sila.
And that's why you need the middles to be involved, because you want that surprise factor on that floor defense of Akari. So you see Jem Ferrer.
Straight to the service line for Jem. They go to Soyud. And that is outside for Ellie. They're asking for a check on this one. It's been a very quiet first set for Soyud. That's gonna be another challenge here for the Akari Chargers, their second one. So we've had 3 challenges so far.
It's been a tight battle here, 19 apiece for both teams.
You were expecting a lot more energy, right, from these 2 squads. Moving forward, was there a check? There was on the index finger.
Very clear. Rondina tried to convince Akari that there wasn't any block touch, but Coach Taka had the good perspective on that attack of Eddie Soyud.
And good trust in the players also.
Yep.
Successful challenge for Coach Taka. Babalik ulit si Pecanya. Gretch Soltones with 4 attack points. It's a 2-point lead for the Chargers, who have taken control of this match. Good read from Hazareno. Soyud will try, but that is outside. So she still hasn't found her groove yet, no, in the first set.
And we keep talking about it because she scored 34 points against Choco Mucho in that semifinals match. So I'm sure Akari is hoping for her to replicate that performance.
But we all know it's not a fluke here for Soyud, for Ellie. She's been working so hard this All-Filipino conference. And we've seen it as well. And you know who else is working hard? Cici Rondina. And she has been the leading scorer now for the Flying Titans with 5 points.
I mean, Choco Mucho is aware that Ellie Soyud could be a go-to player. So they've got their defense locked in on her today.
Choco Mucho just doing their job versus Soyud. Cal will send this one to Ellie. Speaking of, and there we go. She gets a point. Her third one.
And it has been the story of the set so far. Great adjustments coming from the attackers of Akari. Just finding holes on the floor defense of Choco Mucho.
1 point lead for the Chargers. 3 points for Camps Victoria. She will serve. They go to Nunag, blocked. They find Tobino. Dug up. Gretsch rolls it over. Alba, Uno wave. This time, Laksina. Violation. Double contact, and she knew it.
Choco Mucho scrambling in the tail end of this set. Akari finding more flow here.
And remember in Lexi's report, she talked about the lack of composure here for the Flying Titans. So that's something that they needed to work on here in this game, that mental toughness. Cici from the right, blocked. Another denial at the net from the Akari Chargers. They're up 3 points.
Chargers playing more consistent here in the tail end, just reading the offense of Choco Mucho perfectly. Take a look at that one, Domingo, closing down Tobino.
All things going right here for the Akari Chargers. Alba, reverse set to Cici. Cal to Gretsch from the back. Met at the net. Good cover from Tobino. They go to Ivy. Mars to Isa this time. It will go to the Flying Titans.
A good point there coming from Tobino off the hands of Ellie Soyud. Just vet moves there. Choco Mucho holding tight.
Still 2 point lead though for the Chargers. Miscue for the Flying Titans. Tobino. Laksina. They'll call it outside.
And Laksina wanted to go for the hands of Tobino there, but it seems like it was too much angle for her. So Akari with the consecutive errors here, helping out Choco Mucho to gain some confidence.
5 points for Cici. Looking for a bit more from her. Miscue for Akari. Chance here, Choco Mucho. Reverse set to Tobino with a hit out.
Now, important points coming from Tobino in the tail end. All going for the hands of the blockers. Akari has to press those hands in. Timeout, Akari.
Okay, go na. One side natin, one side natin.
Girls, cover tayo ha. Okay lang rebound. Kung malapit sa net, rebound lang natin.
Isang pasa, isang magandang
Yung tapang natin, ha? Let's go! Wait lang. Assure ha, cover lahat. Yes, ate. Go! Ate, 2 points tayo! Okay, yung last tayo lang. Hari!
Team Captain Mitch Cobb reminding her teammates to have that coverage ready because Choco Mucho right now loading up on the net defense. And in the tail end, alam mo, the setters, mamomorsyento na sila.
Correct.
But if you take a look at the front line of Akari, that's gonna be tough to predict because you have Ellie Soyud, Ivy Laksina, and Sed Domingo in the front row right now.
So here we go. We're all tied up. 23 all for both these squads. Rondina will serve as Cal reverses this one to Soyud. No cover for the Flying Titans.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good timing coming from, a good read coming from Isa Molde. A rebound that Ellie Soyud attack, but no support on the floor defense. Just a costly miscue for Choco Mucho.
Set point for the Chargers. Unfortunate service error for Ellie Soyud. And we're tied again, 24 all.
No room for errors for both teams here.
And now you're starting to feel that sense of urgency that we were looking for since the beginning of this match. Cheng to serve. Cal finds Ivy. Almost a point for Ellie Soyud. Chance here for the white shirts. They're going to choose Ivy Laxina. Tobino. Little too tight. That's not going to do it for the Chargers as Sereno apologizes to the bench.
Tough errors here coming from Akari. Very uncharacteristic as well. They are looking disorganized right now.
The breaks of the game here for these two teams in set number 1. We got Choco Mucho at set point. 25 serving, 24. Oh, that's inside! And this Cheng does her job to the best of her abilities. And this set will go to Choco Mucho, Ayan.
And Choco Mucho just finding the rhythm right in time to steal that set away from Akari Chargers.
And this spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin', pasalubong ng bayan. Set number 1 goes to the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. We will be right back for more volleyball action. And the Choco Mucho Flying Titans take set number 1 from the Akari Chargers, 26-24. 34 minutes of volleyball action. It is a battle for the bronze between these two teams. Let's take a look at our set number 1 statistics. And IL, what numbers stand out to you the most?
Well, for Akari Chargers, they have more attack points here, played higher spiking efficiency compared to Choco Mucho, but they gave away more free points. They have 12 errors, that's 12 free points for Choco Mucho. Meanwhile, Choco Mucho banking on their strength, which is their blocking. but it was really a slow start for both teams. We talked about how we didn't feel the intensity and energy coming from both, but in the tail end, Tubino coming alive for Choco Mucho. So let's see what adjustments Akari will have here in the start of the second set.
We will see how things will pan out for these two squads. Again, game one for the battle for the bronze. Later on, we have the finals. Game one, epic matchup between Creamline versus Petrogas. Pero unahin muna natin to. Choco Mucho takes set number 1. Here we go, set number 2. Tubino with a drop. Good defense from Mitch Cobb. Alba finds CC.
Sharp cross there coming from CC Rondina. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of those clean attacks from CC Rondina with the great blocking of Akari. So good start for Rondina on that one.
Hoping for a little bit more energy from both these squads. And there's a violation called here on Mitch Cobb, I believe.
Yeah, reaching beyond. So they will challenge that one. Very early challenge here from Akari.
Mitch was pretty clueless kung ano ba nangyari in that sequence at bakit siya natawagan.
It was an almost overpass, but Mitch Cobb had a good hand on that ball. Let's see. I mean, Akari would just hope for this challenge to be successful because this is way too early for them to lose one challenge.
We'll see kung ano ba yung huling tawag.
So, seems like it is an unsuccessful challenge here for the Akari Chargers. I mean, a part of the ball was already on the side of Choco Mucho.
At any rate, the play continues. It's unsuccessful here for the Chargers. Risky move to call a challenge so early on, as Ayel mentioned. Good dig! Good cover there from Mars Alba. Right place, right time for Alba. Reverse set to Soyun with a power, nothing. Mars with a toss to Royce Tubino.
Great dig, another one from Cobb.
Defense shining for both these teams, not in that last sequence. So Tones gets a point, her first one here in our second set.
And so Tones can be that one productive player in terms of scoring here for the Akari Chargers. She can be lethal even from the back row.
3 points now for Cam's Victoria. Choco Mucho, 2-1. On the scoreboard, denial at the net. It's still alive! Still playable. Soyun rolls it over. As we turn this one to Lexi Rodriguez. Go ahead, Lex.
Ayel, you know, they were right there, but the Akari Chargers just let it slip away after that first set, especially with some miscalculated errors that happened. But, you know, for the Akari Chargers as well, one bright spot is definitely still shining, and that is Ellie Soyud. What's changed for her at this conference is just about the numbers. It's also about her mindset. She told me she's worked on reading the game better, choosing her angle smarter, and showing that she can both be a reliable scorer and a defensive anchor as well. And definitely the trust that Coach Taka has entrusted with her, she's been responding well with consistency. And for that second set, the key is to clean up their decision making as we take a look at this challenge.
Thank you so much for that, Lex. Shining the spotlight on Ellie Soyud. Has had some offensive woes here in our match, but nonetheless has been an integral part, you know, for this team. It's a ball in, ball out challenge. We'll get some clarity first.
It's quite clear. Ball is out.
Another one for
Akari.
Very interesting decision-making, no? That
Yeah.
we're seeing now from Coach Taka.
But also goes to show how important each
Right.
point is for Coach Taka. But another strong start here for the Flying Titans. Service ace there for Cherry Nunag.
That's not gonna help the case of the Chargers. 2 points now for Nunag. She will serve again. Mitch to Ellie. I was gonna say babies that one, but he still gets the point.
And I think that's one thing very evident on the game of Ellie Soyud. Her ball control and her decision-making that has greatly improved.
We're tied at 3. That is an ace for Ellie Soyud.
Service is gonna be key for both teams here. If you can get that easy point from the service line, that's gonna be good for your squad.
1 point lead now for Choco Mucho. Here comes Royce Tobino. What an angle from Tobino. So much power.
Yeah. I mean, Royce Tobino wants that set close to the net so she can find the seams on the block. And same start here for Choco Mucho. Strong start. It's just a matter of sustaining it for them.
Tobino scored 7 versus Creamline in their last game in the semifinals. Need more from her in this game, of course. Right on the money for Isa Molde. So everybody getting fired up now for the Flying Titans. This spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin', pasalubong ng bayan.
Choco Mucho playing with a faster pace now. More speed, more power.
And more confidence as
Yes.
well. Trying to sustain that momentum from the first over the blockers is good for Laksina.
But for Akari, it's all about outsmarting Choco Mucho. Not a lot of power hits, but a lot of drops, soft touches. Another one there for Ivy Laksina.
Just outsmarting the Flying Titans and the blockers of the Flying Titans. Here comes Laksina to serve. 2 point lead for Choco Mucho. They find Molde. She's blocked. The reverse to Royce. That is outside for Tobino.
Good target there, going long, wanting to go for the corner pocket. Just too strong on that one.
Akari keeping it close here. 1 point lead for Choco Mucho. Picanya asking for it. Nobody home for the Chargers.
And this is why you don't want to target Tang Ponce on that service line, because once they get that good first ball, Mars Alba has that opportunity to set up the middles.
2 points now for Isa Molde. They're up by 2. Soltones straight to the hands of Villa General. Alba chases it, bumps it to Cici. Easy pickings for Gretsch. There goes Soltones. Another point for Gretsch. 2 points now here in the second set. 6 in total for Soltones.
All power in that attack for Gretzel Soltones, breaking the hands of the blockers. Tough one there for General for a coverage.
Rondina changing approach. Ivy with a push. Pecanya finding that donut hole. Choco Mucho with a 2 point advantage. Will be right back. On your screens, we have Miss China Coanco watching this battle for the bronze between the Choco Mucho Flying Titans and the Akari Chargers, with Choco Mucho holding on to a 2-point push in the second, make that a 3-point lead. Care of Cici Rondina.
So far, offense of the Flying Titans has been working so well. We've seen a couple of attackers stepping up and contributing.
Kanya was gonna go for that serve, but I was gonna say, and that heads straight to the net. A momentum buster here for the Flying Titans. Napangiti na lang si Coach Dante.
I mean, that's not what you want after having a really good point of that Cici Rondina attack.
Choco Mucho has it. Single block. Soyod. Rondina put some power into it. It's alive. They send this one to Laxina. Ivy cannot believe that she scored that point.
A really lucky break there. I mean, Laxina was pointing to Saltones, telling Hazareno that she wasn't ready from the back row. But a point is a point with the help from the net.
Dapat nag-thank you siya kay Mitch, di ba?
Yeah.
The 1-point lead for Choco Mucho. Akari blocked. Ellie Soyod is denied.
Ellie Soyod has been heavily guarded here by the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. Cici Rondina getting another kill block.
And this block of the set is brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL All-Filipino Conference. And for good reason, because she is explosive when she really can be. Talking about Ellie Soyod. And because of that 34-point performance, she's got that X on her back right now. The target of Choco Mucho. Here she comes. She's blocked. Grabe yung depensa, no? Naka-focus talaga kay Soyod. And we have Akari here calling for time.
Make it high. Okay, okay, sige na. Maybe I'm going to cover. Oh. Isa.
A quick timeout there for the Akari Chargers, and it was mostly the players talking. As you see, Erica Staunton and Bea Bonifan on your screens.
Waiting for the next game. Very, very interesting match. A classic rivalry between two teams that started that rivalry here in the PVL. We have Creamline versus Petrogas. And let's get back to this match. So far, so good here for Choco Mucho. Ayel, service ace to add to that from Mars Alba.
And Lexi earlier talked about how important decision-making will be here for the Akari Chargers, but so far, not a lot of good decisions coming from them.
We got to see some smarter decision-making here from the white shirts. Starting with this play, Eddie Soyod finally getting something.
And in the timeout, they talked about what kind of set they can give to Ellie Soyod, because obviously they need to get her going here. They need her production, and as we mentioned, Billy, finally a point for Ellie Soyod in the set.
An explosive point is what we're looking for from Soyod. Regalo, nandoon si Tobino. That's a good one from Cam to Victoria. Great connection with Mitchko. What a play. Myra, point of the set is brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion.
I caught Mars Alba out of position in that sequence.
Alba finds Tobino. A little too late for Hazareno. Was not ready for that one.
And Victoria also letting that go, not transitioning to get that double block against Tobino. So an easier time cross-court for her.
Kaya hindi na paghandaan ni Justine. Substitution rather here for Coach Taka. Raagas checks in for the first time today. She will get activated right off the rip. She's blocked. This time they try the other side. Smarter moves now for Soyot, sensing na siya nga yung binabantayan ng depensa ng Choco Mucho.
And she has done a good job going for those slow touches, soft touches, or rather, take a look at that one, really guiding the ball on the right side of the blockers.
Great placement from Eli Soyo. They're down by 3. Victoria will serve. Alba to Tobino. Another bomb from Royce Tobino. Point number 8, right behind Cici with 9.
Quick side outs here coming from Choco Mucho, with the players becoming more efficient. Mars Alba having an easier time orchestrating the offense.
Speaking of Mars Alba, that was a beautiful set coming from Alba. Good serve. Great net defense. Alba, one-hand set to Picaña, dug up. Soyod again challenging the blockers, not this time. Rondina, and they were ready for it.
3 blockers waiting for that back row off speed of Cici Rondina. Take a second look on that. There you go, Eli Soyod getting one against Cici Rondina.
A blitz here for the Akari Chargers. Substitutions as well. Cal, as well as Bustrillo will check in for Soyod
So
and Cobb.
Taka really rotating, maximizing that bench.
Tobino. That's gonna hit the antenna.
Yep. Wanting to go down the line, use the hands of Raagas to get that point. But that went straight to the antenna. 3-point here for Akari.
Cal on deck to serve here for the white shirts. Babalik so Choco Mucho. Alba from the back row. It is good for Mars Alba. Choco Mucho with a 3-point lead, 16-13. The games may be over, but the storytelling continues. Witness the journey before the glory. This is our team, the Golden Age. New episodes every Friday on One Sports Plus, and Pilipinas Live. You're watching this battle for the bronze, game 1 between the Choco Mucho Flying Titans and the Akari Chargers. Scoreboard read 16-13 in favor of the Flying Titans. Isa Molde to serve. Bostrillo. First attempt, it's goal for Steph.
Just the right angle there for Steph Bostrillo. Let's take a second look on that one. Out of system set. Postrillo keeping it safe. Going long. General taking that one. Could not control that.
We have Akari trying to play catch-up here.
Yep.
In our second set. Molde. Dug up by Hazareno. Great net defense from Choco Mucho. They'll try again. Postrillo. Another point. Second straight here for Steph Postrillo. Great addition to the players on the court for Coach Taka. Instant impact.
And this is what you want from your players coming off the bench, contributing right away despite the minimal minutes that they have on the court.
And a blitz of points now for the Akari Chargers as Choco Mucho will call for time. That's the snip.
Para may space tayo, para makapokus si isa sa palo. Okay? Tuloy tayo. Pasukin mo para ito yung gagawin natin. Ha? Tapos dito naman si... Okay, go.
One stop tayo, one stop.
Hi! Choco Mucho! Light and bright!
3-0 run there for the Akari Chargers. A much-needed timeout for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans.
Familiar faces on your screens. We have Sir Sem, that should be calling the game later. Of course, Sir Nico Halili, Gonzalez. All enjoy
as well in between them.
Enjoying this match between these two squads. Both hoping for that podium finish. And finally, something here for the Flying Titans. It was a 3-0 run for the Akari Chargers to tie this game. But right now, Choco Mucho up by 1.
Good response after the timeout for the Flying Titans.
That's a good serve. Choco Mucho has it. They go to CC. Dug
Great
up.
dig.
Gretsch puts it away.
And this is where experience comes in really for Saltones. A tight set there. 2 blockers right in front of her. Pinlat ball na lang papunta sa end line of Choco Mucho.
Saltones is going long in that sequence. We're tied 17-all. Rondina follow suit. Sabi niya kung meron ka, meron din ako. My version.
Wow. A great matchup also of, explosive attackers in Saltones and Rondina.
We have Mendres checking in for the first time for Coach Dante. Adding a bit more experience in place of Lorraine Pecaña. 1-point lead for the Flying Titans. Cal will find Postrillo. This time, not so lucky with a point. It sails outside.
Wanting to go cross there. The comfortable angle for Postrillo just lacked risk action. So Choco Mucho finding themselves on the lead right now.
And remember, this is what you were talking about. You never want those momentum busters, especially when the momentum has shifted to your side.
And especially for Choco Mucho, wherein Akari knows how to close gaps and keep the game close.
At saka mabilis maka-side out itong Akari. They find CC again. Gretsch sent back.
That was just perfectly read by the Flying Titans. 2 blockers with the Saltones.
2-point lead now for the Flying Titans. They go to Ellie Soyud. CC waiting for it over the blockers. Dug up by Gretsch. Babalik kay Soyud. Denied.
That was a good attack coming from Rondina.
And with that, Coach Taka sensing some problems. We'll have some conversations with the Chargers.
Now going to another game, we have a 2 block. Okay, we have to go into cover. And then also attacker also trying to hitting more deeper side. So after the hitting the ball, going to win the upside. So you can easy to more cover. Kaya man. What's that? Go na.
Let's go! Cover pa tayo! Cover pa! Hey! Akari Chargers!
It's the same story on the timeout for the Akari Chargers. They have been talking about coverage, how important it is because of the great net defense of Choco Mucho. So let's see if they will be able to execute, because almost all attackers right now are well guarded, both on the net and the floor.
Then excellent sets now for Mars Alba. Scoreboard reads 21-18 in favor of the Flying Titans. We're just cleaning up a couple of wet spots on the floor cause of delay. But here comes Alba getting ready to serve. Everything looks good. As you continue on with this match, here comes Alba. They reverse this one to Soyud.
And every time Soyud only has one blocker there, that's like an automatic point for the Akari Chargers. Take a look at that one. Going high, going long, even touching the fingertips of CC Rondina.
Alba, a little too tight. Miscue for Choco Mucho. Chance for Akari. They find Raagas. Straight to the hands of Isa Molde. Tobino waiting for it. Slicing through the block.
And Tobino has been using her power to get those balls through the blocking of the Akari Chargers. Even through the hands in between Victoria and Ellie Soyud.
They bump this one to Erica again. Sent back. That's going to be a point for the Chargers.
Isa Molde also surprised there. She wanted to take advantage of that overpass, but that went straight out. So point for the Akari Chargers.
Two-point lead now for the Flying Titans, as Tobino will try again.
Oh,
It's
good.
still alive. Still playable. They go to Raagas. Oil adjust. Kinapos ng konti si Erica Raagas, but credit that to the sequence that we just witnessed here on the side of the Flying Titans.
Tobino using her foot to save that rally.
Three-point lead for the Flying Titans. Substitution here for Coach Dante. Here comes Jem Ferrer, service specialist. And for Akari, babalik ulit si Ivy Laksina for Erica Raagas. Combination play. But they will go to Choco Mucho. And what happened in that sequence, Ayel?
I mean, it was all reflexes for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, getting lucky on that save. Wow.
Set point now for the Flying Titans. Akari will try to answer back. Nothing yet. Tobino, easy over. Chance for the white shirts. Mitch will choose Ivy. Regalo. Read well. But it will go to the Chargers. There's a violation call.
That touch violation there on Pecania. But what a floor defense coming from Choco Mucho. Akari wasn't able to convert a point there.
So chance here for the Akari Chargers. They got some breathing room, but not a lot because Choco Mucho now at set point, as we mentioned. Soyud to serve.
Oh.
Not the best way to end this set. Kung naghahabol ka, syempre, for the Akari Chargers, a service error as the Flying Titans. So make it 2 sets, 1 back-to-back here. We'll be right back for more of volleyball action. The Choco Mucho Flying Titans take that set number 2 from the Akari Chargers. Back-to-back sets won here for the Flying Titans, 25-21, as we take a look at some of our set number 2 highlights.
Choco Mucho started good in that set. They started strong. Isa Molde, Royce Tubino, Cici Rondina coming alive in the start, contributing big points. The Akari Chargers really tried to outsmart Choco Mucho in return in that set, but still it wasn't enough as they committed consecutive errors towards the tail end that really made it difficult for them to recover in terms of momentum. As you take a look at the numbers on your screens, 13 attack points for Choco Mucho, better outing for them against the 12 of Akari. More blocks still for Choco Mucho. It has worked for them. They have slowed down Ellie Soyud. We keep on mentioning that. And Akari minimizing their errors, but it wasn't the same number of attack points for them. And Choco Mucho also playing more efficient attacking in that second set.
So we saw that the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, they took complete control of that second set from the Akari Chargers. And they're hoping to finish it in 3 sets today. We have Cici Rondina leading the way, of course, for the Flying Titans with 10 points. But Ellie Soyud not far behind. Actually, she's at 11 points, so leading the scoring sheet here for the Akari Chargers. And we did say she had a quiet start in that first set, but showed us her true scoring prowess in that second set. Billy Capistrano with Ayel Estranero. We have Lexi Rodriguez giving us all the latest insider info from both these squads. It is a battle for the bronze. Game number 1 here, the Smart Araneta Coliseum. We have Dina Wong, of course, supporting her teammates. Has yet to see action in this game today. Again, let's take a look at the Rondina here with 10 points. Ellie Soyud, as expected, with 11 points, going head-to-head in our match.
Very much important set here for the Akari Chargers if they want to extend this one. Meanwhile, Choco Mucho looking good, having the better composure and consistency.
A lot of confidence on the side of the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. If you remember, like she reported, they were a little bit tired. Parang gusto na nga matapos ng maaga at makauwi.
Yep.
But we'll see how Akari will adjust. Soyud starts us off with a point, draws first blood here in the third.
Soyud will be in the forefront of Akari's game plan for sure. She has the offensive advantage here against Choco Mucho.
That's a good serve from Akari. They bump this one to Tobino, will adjust. Still gets a point, and that's what you call a true veteran.
Yep. If Choco Mucho can get points of out-of-system attacks just like that, then that's going to be good for them. Tutones.
Soyud again, and she's getting fired up too.
Oh, yeah.
Which is something that Choco Mucho needs to watch out for. They try Sultanes over the blockers. A little too tight, it's sent back. But now Akari has it. Sultanes again, straight to the hands of Rondina. They find Isa. As Mitch will give this one to the Lady Bees. Good cover from Justine Hazareno. Soyud. And that's going to be a point for Ellie Soyud as we turn this one over to Lexi Rodriguez. Go ahead, Lex.
Thanks, Billy and Ayel. You know what? Much better energy coming from the Choco Mucho Flying Titans bench. And, you know, they're less tense, they're more fluid, and they've got to lean into their natural rhythm. And Ayel, you mentioned earlier about how they've really been taking advantage of their better net defense. And this is what they're capitalizing on. And, of course, you've got Cici Rondina doing Cici things. As you guys mentioned, she's had to carry so much of the load this conference. However, this time around, we're seeing more contributions from each player. And Cici told me earlier that in moments like these, hindi naman talaga dapat yung mindset talaga yung focus, but it's more about consistency as well. It's about being steady because consistency wins games, and that's exactly what they'll need heading into this third set. No need to reinvent anything. Just stay sharp with their decisions and hold on to that looseness that they found in set 2. Now back to you, Billy.
That's right, Lex. And you can see that things so far going right here for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. And you know, they're playing loose.
Yep.
Right? They're relaxed, but
Very
they're also
obvious.
very confident.
Yep.
And when you were doing that report, Lex, we saw that monster attack from CC Rondina. And what about this one to play from Mitch Cobb?
It has been a lot of soft touches for the Akari Chargers, but it has been working for them. A timely 1-2 play there coming from Mitch Cobb.
Finally, something here for the Chargers. Care of Gretch Soltones. That is her first point here in our very crucial third set.
Service ace there off the hands of CC Rondina.
Soyud. Great reaction from Mars Alba. Too tight. Puntos para sa Akari.
That was just too difficult for Royce Tubino there, forcing her to commit that net touch violation. So this is where Akari wants to be in the start of the set, hoping that they could extend this one.
Not for long though. Ayel, that's gonna sail outside.
Soltones wanting to go for a floater, but just too strong that time.
Akari holding on to that 1-point advantage here. Soyud from the
Soyud,
back
ooh,
row
great dig.
versus Cici. Isa going sharp. And what about Ivy Laxina? What a time to come alive for Laxina. And right now, she only has 7 points. I only say 7 because we know also that she can contribute in the scoring department for Akari.
And aside from Ellie Soyud, Ivy Laxina is that main option for Mitch Cobb. So definitely they need her consistency and efficiency here.
And they need her right now and right on cue.
On cue.
Laxina gets point number 8.
She had that time on the bench earlier. Finally finding her groove in this match.
Scoreboard reads 7-4 in favor of the Chargers. So they've not reached that technical timeout yet. It is a 3-point lead now for Akari.
A different start here for the Flying Titans. It's Akari taking the lead and the start.
And there you have it. First technical timeout, Akari in the lead, 8-4. Don't you miss a thing. The NBA playoffs are coming this April only on NBA TV Philippines, One Sports, RPTV, and Pilipinas Live. Hashtag everything counts. It's a 6-2 run now for the Akari Chargers. I say 6-2 because of this fight of the set brought to you by Dunkin', pasalubong ng bayan coming from CC Rondina.
throw there being activated by Mars Alba. Much needed point.
Now they're getting the ball rolling here for them. Talking about the Flying Titans, it's a different story kasi naghahabol naman sila. Although it is not the biggest of leads yet, but you have to be very careful, especially if you're Choco Mucho and you want to win this in straight sets. Not the best decision here for Isa Molde, not the best way to sustain the momentum. That's a service error.
And as you mentioned, Choco Mucho has to keep this one close because Akari in that semifinals match against Choco Mucho has proven that they can be a resilient team as well.
Rondina varying her attack. Here comes Soyud with the power.
Turbino read that one but couldn't react quickly.
This point of the set is brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's Vitamin Powered Whitening Lotion. Care of Ellie Soyud, who started out slow, now has 14 points. Narinig ata tayo, Ayel.
Picking up her game.
As she should. Here comes Rondina with a push. She's met at the net.
No coverage there for Choco Mucho. We're seeing doubts and hesitations right now in the face of the Flying Titans.
Good read by the blockers here of Akari as Choco Mucho will call for time.
Paano kumpiyansa lang yung ginagawa, ha? Dikit mo konti kahit paano magawa ng paraan, ha? Huwag mong ilagi dito yung bola, lakit idulo mo na konti. Okay? Then pag maganda, ito lang importante, ate. Dito tayo. Okay? Sige, go.
Isa lang pa
Sip tayo, lahat, sip to, ha?
Hey, Choco Mucho!
A good pass, that's what they need right now. They need to regroup, they need a quick side out and find their momentum right away because Akari looking to run away with the lead that they have.
So the tide has shifted here in our match. The confidence now with the Akari Chargers. One of the biggest leads that they've had in this whole match, actually.
Yeah, Akari wants to keep this rotation as well.
I'm going to keep that distance from Choco Mucho. Nabasa na si Cici. She'll try again. Good defense from the Chargers. Choco needs a good swing.
Yep.
Nothing yet. They'll try Cici, of course. Lucky break here for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. There's an error called on Ellie Soyud.
Rondina mounting their nice one because they needed that side out. I mean, take a look at the front row of Akari. They have Soyud, Ivy Laxina, and Sed Domingo. Really strong one.
Cobb. Laxina with a push straight to Nunag. Here comes Rondina again. See, that's what you want to see from Cici. Kasi napansin niya na, ayan na na-check na siya. Diba sa net coverage nitong Akari Chargers. And she also did this in the past couple of sets, trying to adjust her attacks.
Putting more variety in her attacks to keep her unpredictable here.
Good cover. Rondina. Ooh, regalo. Royce was ready for a chance here for the Chargers. Soyud is fired up.
She is indeed. I mean, earlier we talked about the soft touches coming from Ellie Soyud, but right now it has been all power coming from Ellie Soyud. Explosive approach, explosive finish there.
And they have been feeding her the past couple of sequences. It seems to be working very, very well for the white shirts. 4-point lead for Akari. What is Choco Mucho going to do? Soltones dug up by Isa.
Another out of system.
That's right, asking for space. Cici will make do. Soltones again. Nobody there for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, and it smells like trouble here for the girls in purple.
That's right. Akari playing more cohesively now. Cobb with great connections with all her attackers. Soltones with another correct angle to get that point.
And attack points now for Ivy Laxina. They're up by 5 in the third. They bump this one to Rondina, taking matters into her own hands. Nunag was there, great decision.
Oh, wow, Hazareno
with the heroics on defense. Running attack, denied! A denial by Gretch Sotones. And a much shorter Gretch Sotones as well.
And a one-man block at that, but take a look at Hazareno saving that rally. And Sotones obviously just reading that one perfectly.
But there will be a challenge called by the Flying Titans. It has ballooned to a pretty comfortable lead now here for the Akari Chargers. But really, is anything ever comfortable, right? Net fault challenge ang sinasabi ng Choco Mucho versus Akari.
And how Akari is playing right now is not the same of how they played the first 2 sets. This is a very different Akari. Chargers, we're seeing more energy, more intensity. They're more aggressive in their offense.
May sense of urgency na hindi natin napansin in that first and that second set. But if you're Choco Mucho, you know, you really have to come up with something good. You have to play well. You have to play strong. Was there a net fault? There was. The forearm of, I think that's Gretch Sotones, right?
Very clear at that. And it seems like she knew that from the start. We saw that smile.
She just shrugged her shoulders. Wala na magagawa. Successful challenge here for Coach Dante, the rest of the Flying Titans.
Can't hide those touches from the camera.
Camera don't lie. 4-point lead now for the Chargers. Here come the Flying Titans. It continues for Ali Soyud and the Chargers. Well-oiled machine here in our 3rd set.
And what changed here also is the speed of those sets coming from Mitchko. Faster sets, giving only 1 blocker to Ali Soyud.
Kasi sinasabi rin natin na medyo slow yung pace, yung tempo sa first and second sets here for the Chargers. What a big difference. And second straight point for Ali Soyud, this time with a hit out. I'll check that. That's a point here for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. Finally, a side out for them.
Of the Tubino attack.
12 points for CC Rondina. 4-point advantage for Akari. They're trying to shake things up, and that's exactly what they're doing.
And, you know, with the attacking of Akari right now, a lot of powerful attacks. It's forcing Choco Mucho to adjust as well. So this soft touch definitely surprised them.
5-point push for the Chargers. So far, so good. Soyud to serve. They bump this one to Molde, who has to adjust. Chance for Akari. They go to Gretch Sotones. Not yet. Molde. They save it. What a hustle. Credit that to Danny. Chance. Little too tight. They go to Molde. Puts it away.
Probably the cleanest attack so far coming from Isa Molde, but Nunag just a perfect decoy there, keeping Victoria with her. Isa Molde taking advantage of the down-the-line angle.
Beautiful combination play orchestrated by Alba. They roll it over. Easy pickings. There's a net touch. Clear as day. Timeout. We'll be right back. SV Finance ang BFF na malalapitan. Got our fans enjoying this match, battle for bronze between the Akari Chargers, who are now up by 5 versus the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. Very crucial third set for both these squads. Back-to-back sets won by the Flying Titans. But so far, it has been all Akari here. Check that, not anymore, says Roy Savino.
She has seen enough from the Akari Chargers. Take a look at that massive swing and an explosive finish. Just too hard to defend there.
Up top and down low for the veterans. The cheers getting louder. We have Dina Wong. Straight to the service line she goes. First appearance in this game. We also have Des Cheng here. So some adjustments, some adjustments here for Coach Dante. We'll see how things will pan out for them. They cut the lead down to 4 points. Still very doable. Bostrillo also on the court now for the Chargers. That's too tight there for Des Cheng. Medyo alanganin na din. Puntos para sa Akari.
For Choco Mucho, they can't afford those errors anymore because violations like that, 3 point to Akari, Akari creating that bigger lead. So Choco Mucho, they need a side out and a meaner run at this point.
And they can't keep giving multiple chances here to the Chargers, who are in the lead at this point. 5 points now for them. Cheng is blocked. Rondina sets up Isa. She's denied again. Good cover. Almost for Choco Mucho. And just a lot of composure and confidence here for the Chargers. As we look at this block of the set, brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL All-Filipino Conference.
Dominant set so far for the Akari Chargers.
Choco Mucho losing steam in the third. Dina finds Isa over the blockers. Good play. You gotta start, with simple things like that, with just reading the defense of the Akari Chargers.
A great decision for Wong to go for a combination play that really confused the defense of the Akari Chargers.
And that's something we need to see more of, from the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. 5-point lead for Akari. Bostrillo.
Oh, great dig from Molde.
Des Cheng goes long. It is good for Des. That is her second point of the game.
Great set there coming from Wong, and Des just playing it simple, going long, making Sotones work.
Down to a 4-point lead. Cal finds Bostrillo. And there has been a couple of defensive lapses right here for the Flying Titans, Ayal.
And Bostrillo also hitting harder and faster that time. 5-point lead for Akari.
And commend the Akari Chargers for not being faced every time Choco Mucho tries to come up with a side out here. Wong to Rondina. Mitch will go to Laxina. A little too late for Tan Ponce. It looks like this might go to the Akari Chargers as Coach Dante Eden Sanurin will call a timeout.
Gagawin naman natin, importante lang, dumiskarte ka lang naman dyan. Sabi ko kasi kapag ito kinukuha nila, ito nag-stay lang sa dito para makapagano tayo, ha? Sige, go, ate. Hindi na bola, ha? Go.
Kapitan natin! Ay, Choco Mucho! Titan Pride!
Coach Dante talking about the defense pattern of the Akari Chargers there, because so far Choco Mucho could not convert.
We have Ms. Chena G. Olaso, Head of Channels and Content Management for Signal TV Inc., as well as Sir Miko Halili, Head of Sports Content for Signal TV. Enjoying this match between these two teams. And in the third set, we got Akari shining bright here. charging ahead.
Yep, both from offense to defense. Take a look at that one. CC Rondina, well guarded, shut down by Sed Domingo. A pass. Nope.
So everything just going right here for Akari. And you could say even minimal effort on the part of the Chargers are just doing everything right, as I've mentioned, and just allowing their system to click in place.
And you're starting to sense the frustration on the side of Choco Mucho.
Bump set to CC. And still nothing for the Flying Titans. And you are absolutely right, Ayel. Meron ng sense of frustration nakita natin sa side ng Choco Mucho. But they will call a challenge for this. Allowing also some time for the girls to kind of talk on the court. Medyo nawawala na rin ng communication on their end.
And for Choco Mucho, they really can't rely everything on CC Rondina. That's what is happening right now. And them being predictable just makes it more difficult for Rondina to convert a point. But they'll take this one and hope they get a successful challenge.
Was there a block touch? Nope, there wasn't any. It's going to be unsuccessful for Coach Dante. At least they had some time to kind of talk things over and pacify the situation. 23 serving 14. Dina to Descheng. They need to put a little bit more power in the attacks, just like this one.
Bagyo going for the hands of the blockers. Now for Choco Mucho, that's what they need right now, at least to get that momentum, score consecutive points.
And just make it tough for Akari towards the end of this third set. Ferrer straight to the service line, service specialist. Little shaky off the bench.
Has been lopsided performance here.
Very much so here in the third set. Set point for the Chargers. We're going to a fourth set. Rodina. Great defense from the Chargers. Soyod for the set. There's a violation and CC owns up to it. That means we're going to a fourth set as mentioned. Score here for our third set, 25-15 in favor of the Akari Chargers.
Welcome back. The Akari Chargers taking the third set and extending the match 24-26, 21-25, 25-15. A very lopsided third set there. The Akari Chargers playing better in all departments. They have 13 attack points against the 10 of Choco Mucho. 4 kill blocks, 2 service aces, and Choco Mucho also committing more errors in the third set. Nothing really went well for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, but you have to credit the efforts of the Akari Chargers playing with more energy, intensity, and consistency all throughout. We saw that sense of urgency from there, wanting to get that win in the third set. Really a silence Choco Mucho there, especially CC Rondina. But let's see if they'll be able to hold on tight and extend this into a fifth set, because this is still a must-win set for the Akari Chargers.
So here we go, set number 4. Thank you for joining us on Pilipinas Live, One Sports Plus. Billy Capistrano with Ayel Estranero, Lexi Rodriguez reporting from the sidelines. It is Choco Mucho versus Akari. A crucial set number 4. If you're Choco Mucho, you gotta bounce back as quickly as possible. For Akari, you want that charge to continue. And we open the set with a point from the Akari Chargers.
A great intention for Alba to activate the middles there, but just too wide for Cherry Nunag.
11 points now for Ivy Laksina. The reverse to CC. A wall was there. Good decision also for Elisoy to let that one go.
But you feel the rush and nerves from Choco Mucho in the start of this set. They need to find a way to relax and play loose, just how they did in the first 2 sets of this match.
Because this is something that they're very familiar with, right? What happened to them in that game 1 in the semifinals versus the same team. You can understand that frustration. Tobino slicing through the block. Good cover from the Chargers. We got a couple of Flying Titans on the floor here. Play continues. Cobb will find Sotones, denied. What happened there? Ayel, violation. I think that's a lifting.
Yeah, holding violation they're called on Cherry Nunag. That ball stayed in her hands for too long. So good start here for the Akari Chargers.
Sensing some problems also on the side of Choco Mucho. Baka nakikita na natin yung pagod, yung frustration. 3-point lead for Akari. Nothing yet for Choco Mucho in the 4th. And that's, I was going to say that's about to change, but it's still alive. Chance now for the Flying Titans. They look to Royce Sabino with a push. He's met at the net. Good cover from Ponce. And that is outside as we send this one over to Lexi Rodriguez. Go ahead, Lex.
Thanks, Billy and El. You know, the Akari Chargers weren't just ready to fold just yet. And that's because they showed up with more intensity. They showed up with more aggressiveness. And as you said, Ayel, they showed up with a more grit to win this time around. And this is exactly what Ivy Laksina told me. You know, she said that she's keeping it grounded for her team. It's not just about wanting this to end. It's about finishing it right, because they're not settling and they want that podium finish. And that kind of mindset shows real growth. Ivy's not just playing with fire, she's definitely playing with focus. Now back to you, Billy Nael.
Thanks so much for that, Lex. That is that main goal, to get that podium finish, not just for Akari, but for Choco Mucho as well. Although it's a slow start here for the Flying Titans, we do have a block touch challenge called by the Akari Chargers. Let's take a look at this. They're asking. There wasn't. So it's going to be no block touch.
So unsuccessful.
That's right.
Challenge. Successful challenge rather here for the
Because they were
Akari
saying na
Chargers.
walang block touch in that last sequence. So it's a 4-point push for the Chargers to open up our 4th set. Alba will find Rondina. They need to get something. But you know what, Ayel? Still nothing here for the Flying. Sorry, 1 point now for Choco Mucho. Finally, care of who else but CC Rondina. It's always going to be her leading that scoring here when needed the most. Soyud is blocked.
Now, sometimes you just need the 1 point to get your team going. Back-to-back points here for the Flying Titans. Solid kill block coming from Molde.
Here come the Flying Titans. Soyud will adjust. No good.
Too much adjustment there from Soyud, wanting to avoid the blockers, wanting to go off speed. Just a lot happening there in that decision making.
Kind of overthinking what she was supposed to do. Cobb, miscue. Tobino, top. Much better from Sultanes, but dug up. Molde. Mitch with a bump to Ellie. She's blocked. Another toss to Ellie. She'll try again. Different approach. Nandoon si General. Rodina from the back row. Using the hands of Ellie, Soyud. And Choco Mucho is back.
Yep. A better execution there from Choco Mucho. They are looking more organized in that sequence. CT Rondina again scoring a point from the back row.
And they're looking to CC here in the fourth. Molde. Soyud. And that's too much power for Ellie Soyud. But there's going to be a challenge called by the Akari Chargers. They're going to ask for a check on that one. Block touch challenge. So a lot of challenges early on here in our fourth set, which means these two teams really mean business. Ayel, every single point matters for them.
Especially for Akari again, the do-or-die set for them. But clearly they have the momentum right now. It is Choco Mucho trying to figure things out for them. Let's
Take a look. Ball was pretty high, so no block touch, unsuccessful for Akari. Coach Taka. Point remains with Choco Mucho. They're up by 1 point. Good pass. And good comeback here from the Flying Titans. It's a good block from Nunag. Soyud. Still nothing for Akari. She'll try again. Straight to the hands of Alba. Ooh. And Rondina miscalculates. Senses went straight to the net. Ties this game.
But that was a great dig coming from Mars Alba. And errors like those is something that you don't want to commit, especially for Choco Mucho.
And dun nga lumalabas yung mental toughness. Molde. Nandun si CC. Double contact. They're gonna call on Alba.
I mean, Coach Dante just looking confused right now.
And they're just gonna let it slide. Napabugtong hinanga na lang si Coach Dante. Akari up by 1.
Accept and move on.
Acceptance mode. Here comes Royce Tavino. Ellie waiting for it. That drops in for Soyud.
Smart attack there from Soyud, just knowing that there was that hole in the corner pocket. Take a look at that. So much intention in that attack.
Choco Mucho, you need to have that sense of urgency. It's a 2-point lead from the Chargers. You want to stop this momentum straight away. They go to Isa Molde with a push. Soyud, hot hands here. Rondina plays it safe. Soyud waiting for it, will adjust. Isa. That's outside for Isa Molde. Akari now with a 3-point lead. We will be right back.
First technical timeout score, 8 for Akari, 5 for Choco Mucho.
win to get in. Catch the 2025 NBA Play-In Tournament this April 16 to 19 only on NBA TV Philippines and Pilipinas Live. Hashtag everything counts. 3-point lead now for the Akari Chargers. We see Coach Dante having a couple of conversations here with the girls of Choco Mucho, trying to figure things out. They had control early on here in the set, but it has been Akari ever since. So pretty back and forth affair, I would say here, in terms of the momentum shifts for both teams.
I mean, better start still for Choco Mucho compared to the third set, but again, they can't allow Akari to build that big lead early on because they had a difficult time closing down that lead in the third set.
Let's get back to this match. We have Molde, rolls it over. Elisoyod. Ponce. This time to Tobino, she's dug up. Legoro Sultanes from the left pin. X marks the spot.
Ponce there. Read that one, but couldn't contain the power in that attack. Just too aggressive there, Gretzel Sultanes. And that's what's a bit lacking here from Choco Mucho. We're seeing a lot of soft touches that hasn't worked a lot for them, but a free point for Choco Mucho off that service error from Domingo.
So more power on the side of Flying Titans is what we're looking for here in the fourth set. Well, we have the middles now being activated for the Chargers. That was Cam's Victoria. 6 points for her.
Just clean attacks really coming from Akari. You have to credit the playmaking of Mitch Cobb. Really smooth. Just finding the right attackers at the right time.
That drops inside. That's a good serve from Elisoyod. And right now, IL, she has 19 big points. Coach Dante again calling for time.
Bumabaksak yung bola sa atin na wala tayong ginagawa, hindi mabigat. Ibig sabihin kasi hindi natin ginagawa yung gusto natin mangyari sa loob ng court. Okay? O, saan natin, magpasa lang muna tayo. Sabi ko kasi, sagayin nyo lang yung pasa nyo mamaya, gaganda pa rin yan, ha? Go, 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 go.
Good point there coming from Coach Dante. I mean, the players on the court right now just letting that ball drop on the floor with no attempts at all. And Coach Dante just wanting to see more effort from his players just to find the rhythm here in the fourth set.
I think that is what's lacking here for the Flying Titans, just a lack of rhythm. We see Lut Malaluan also on the court right now for Choco Mucho. And of course, it's going to be Cici Rondina. You know, she is the one who has been carrying this Choco Mucho team on her back. She has 15 points right next to her, Royce Tobino. But the question is, who else is going to step up to help them? Elisoyod. Single block. Nothing yet for Akari. They'll try Gretch again. Alba will go to Molde. She's blocked. General. Cici flying from the back. Good up. Rondina. The toss to Alba.
Oh, great dig.
Oh, good dig from General. Chance for Molde. Good placement. But that's going to be outside for Isa Molde. You can see the intention of what she was trying to do, right? She wanted that placement, sensing there was nobody there.
And those are just the unfortunate errors, really, for Choco Mucho. Making the right decision, but couldn't execute.
And maybe also just confidence in what they're trying to do at this point. Molde. Much better for Isa Molde. Not second-guessing what she is capable of doing. 4-point lead, Akari.
And not intimidated at all by that net defense. Just powering through, going for the hands. And that's what Choco Mucho needs right now. But aggressiveness in offense.
Molde to serve. It's a good serve. Laksina slicing through the blockers of the Flying Titans. Point number 12 for Ivy.
Akari as a team right now has been fearless since the third set, going in between Malaluan and Alpha that time.
Everything clicking in place now for the Chargers. And a service ace to add to that.
Akari just playing better in all departments at this point against Choco Mucho. Not stable platform there for Isa Molde.
Six points for Camps Victoria of 2 attacks, 1 block, and 3 aces. CC out of nowhere. There's a check. She'll get the point. 16 big ones for CC.
The touch of the hands of Mitch Cobb there. Mitch Cobb also admitting to that.
Choco Mucho trying to play catch-up in the fourth. Running attack. Gold for Sed Domingo.
Choco Mucho can't play side outs here against Akari. They have been scoring consecutive points. This time Domingo off the hands of CC Rondina.
Mitch Cobb to serve. Rondina. Cobb to Laksina. It's that same spot, Ayel.
Yep.
Akari with a pretty comfortable lead. We'll be right back.
Score 16 for Akari, 9 for Choco Mucho.
We have Sir Ricky Vargas, board member of Signal TV, also in attendance here at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Akari versus Choco Mucho. Again, we have Ms. Shena G. Olaso, head of channels and content management for Signal TV Inc. with familiar faces, Sir Nico Halili, and of course, our colleague, Sir Boom Gonzalez.
Yes.
Being a fan today, Boom
Just enjoying the match.
Yep. No work for Boom today. Just enjoying this very interesting matchup between these two teams. And the tables have turned completely here. Ayel, we saw the first 2 sets. It was all Choco Mucho, very dominant. But Akari, what have they been doing right? Minus that service error from Mitch Cobb.
Well, it has really been their offense that is worth highlighting here. Everyone being in the scoring board, but also that's because of their stable defense. Mitch Cobb just having an easier time orchestrating that, but that's something Choco Mucho needs to step up, that net defense, to slow down the attacking of Akari.
As we take a look at Mars Alba with 13 excellent sets, she will serve for the Flying Titans. Soyed ready for it. General to Rondina, goes cross. Dug up by Justine Hazareno. Laksina, nothing yet. Rondina powers again.
Hazareno again.
Second time for Justine. Popped up by Cici. Babalik kay Cici, the push. Nandoon naman si Soltones. Laksina! And Cici knew she wanted to get it.
Yep.
Naubusan lang ng konting firepower.
But you have to give half of that point to Justin Hazareno with that great digs of CC Rondina attacks, and Ivy Laksina converting a point for her squad.
And Hazareno making it look so easy, which I'm sure it's not, coming from CC Rondina. 6-point lead now for Akari, 13 points for Ivy Laksina. Mars Alba, combination play for Choco Mucho, unsuccessful. It will go to Akari.
I mean, right now, the middles has been a non-factor for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. So going for those combination plays is not very effective. Still 2 blockers with CC Rondina.
7 excellent receptions as well here for Ivy Lacsina. The toss to Royce Tobino. Getting something going here for the Flying Titans. He has 14 points in this match. One of the set brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion.
Much good point for Choco Mucho.
But here comes Eddie Soyod, dug up by Cici. Mendres. Sotones from the left pin. Royce asking for it.
Yep. Net touch
net touch.
violation there called
On Gretsch, I believe, who owns up to it as well.
So this is important for Choco Mucho. A bit of a run for them.
Slowly but surely. But if you're Akari, you want to maintain this lead. You want to further this lead. General to Mendres.
Oh, great dig from Lacsina.
Chance for the white shirts. Cobb will choose Gretchel Soltones, who is rejected.
Royce Tobino has been productive in the front row from offense to defense. Take a look at that. Double block. Timeout, Akari.
Kailangan natin ng coverage.
Coverage tayo para maka... Usap!
Ate, huwag ka tayo defense. Paano mo? Nandito na tayo.
Same. Some target is going to ID. Just is going to cover. Make it. Just hit that. Go.
Hey, pinakakapumalo ko pa tayo. Ate, hey! Tayo! Kari! Tayo! Hey, Kari! Chargers! Go! Okay.
Timeout clearly just for Akari to regroup and break the momentum of Choco Mucho because they have trimmed down the lead to just 4.
So this is what you want to see from the Flying Titans if you are a fan of Choco Mucho, but not that kind of serve from CC Rondina. That is her first service error of the day.
So it's safe to say good timeout for Akari Chargers, icing CC Rondina on that service line.
That's very crucial here for Choco Mucho kasi naghahabol na nga sila sa 4th set. 8 service errors for Akari, 7 for Choco Mucho, and what a dig from Tang Ponce. CC from the back row, popped up. They go to Soltones, she's fired up.
We talked about this off-air. It has been the back row defense of the Flying Titans so that they have been struggling, and Akari just really maximizing that, going for long attacks.
6-point lead for Akari. Tobino. Soyod. A little too late for Tang Ponce. What a smart move from Ellie Soyod. And right now, she is leading all the scorers in this game with 20 markers.
And she has done that perfectly all throughout. Going for the tip beside the blocker, confusing Tang Ponce on the floor defense.
We have Dina Wong now on the court here for the Flying Titans. A lucky break here for the Flying Titans. It has been all Royce Tobino as well. We got a double sub. Or just Des Cheng checking in. And she will head straight to the service line.
Important points for Choco Mucho.
Soyod. Mendres from the left. Babalik sa Choco Mucho, a little too tight. Akari has it. And they will go to Ivy Lacsina from the back. Cheng asking for space. Alanganin para kay Royce Tobino.
And another tough error here for Choco Mucho. Things that they could have done easier or smarter here and not give away a free point for the Akari Chargers.
Look like it might just go the way of the Chargers here.
Yep.
We have Steph Bostrillo, Camille Cal. It is 22 serving 15. Dina finds Royce. That goes to Choco Mucho. Great idea from Royce Sabino using the hands of the blockers, off the block and outside.
Heavy-handed attack there of the hands of the late block of Victoria.
Uphill climb here for the Flying Titans. You have Erica Raagas checking in for Gretch Soltones. Dina to Malaluan. And what happened there, Ayel?
I mean, it looked like a tight set there for Raagas, but Raagas playing it safe, even surprised Choco Mucho, just pushing that one over. And this is what Coach Dante was talking about. There's no attempt, there's no effort and balls that they could have run after and still save.
Nakita natin medyo pagod na din si Cici Rondina. It's been a challenge here for the Flying Titans, trying to keep pace with Akari. Mayan Mendres goes cross, dug up. Laksina, Wong, running attack to Malaluan. She gets point number 1. Talking about Luth Malaluan.
And you love how Wong is trusting the middles here. Risky set. Ivy Laksina was there but just couldn't press her hands in to get the kill block.
Mendres will serve for the Flying Titans. Laksina. That hits the antenna for Ivy. So we have Choco Mucho still alive here.
But they have to play consistent here. Akari just needs 2 more points to extend this into another 5-setter.
Again, the defensive lapses really causing a lot of troubles here. Yell for Choco Mucho.
That the zone behind the blockers has been a big hole since the start of this set.
Right.
And Choco Mucho by this time should have already adjusted.
No cover there for the Flying Titans. Set point for Akari. Dina. Nandun si Cici. Lucky break there for the Flying Titans. Ponce finds Rondina. Cal with a reverse to Bostrillo. Right on the money for Steph Bostrillo, and she will end our 4th set, which means we are going to a 5th and final set for this game 1 of our battle for the bronze. Pure power being displayed by Steph Bostrillo. 5th set, we'll be right back. And what a game this is turning out to be. The Akari Chargers emerged victorious in that 4th set, 25-18. So it's time for a fifth and final set. Deja vu for a lot of our fans as we take a look at some of our set number 4 highlights.
It was a dominant win yet again for the Akari Chargers, playing more organized, playing more cohesive, playing better attacking as well. Meanwhile, Choco Mucho just couldn't find their flow, especially in defense. That back row defense has been a big hole. That donut hole as well has been a weak spot. And they couldn't find themselves to be organized, to convert a point there. So a lot of things going well on the side of the Akari Chargers as they have more attack points. Clearly here, they have 12 against the 9 of Choco Mucho. More kill blocks for Choco Mucho. They have 3 against the 2 of Akari, but Choco Mucho also committing more errors. They have 9 against the 6 of Akari.
And this is going to be a very, very crucial set for both these teams. You always want to finish, right, this battle for the bronze strong as you aim to finish this conference on the podium. We have Ellie Soyod now with 20 points to lead all the scorers for the Chargers. Not disappointing her fans today, but what about Royce Tobino, that veteran here for the Flying Titans with 17 of her own, surpassing the output of Cici Rondina who has 16. Nakita natin kanina medyo pagod na nga si Cici. She needs all the help that she can get. Ivy also having herself a game today with 15 points. Contributing alongside Ellie. Siyempre, Cici hindi magpapahuli. And if you're a fan of the Flying Titans, you're hoping that they learned from that game number 1 in the semifinals. But if you're a fan of Akari, you want that momentum to continue on here in the 5th and final set.
You want a reverse sweep if you're Akari. But this is the 5th set. It's going to be a game of endurance, a game of mental toughness. Every point will matter. So if you can play consistent, you really have to. You don't want to give away freebies at this point.
This is where your confidence comes to play as well. Your composure, mental toughness, lahat na.
Yep.
Rondina, she's dug up as Mitch finding Gretchel. Off the block and out for Gretchel Soltones. Will take the first point here in our 5th set.
And Hazarenos done a good job covering her zone there, delivering that good first ball to Mitch Cobb. That has got to be a key here for Akari.
Second straight point for the Akari Chargers.
Strong start for Akari. Choco Mucho needs to find that fighting spirit as early as now.
Almost a service ace for Laksina. Rondina will try. That's gonna be it.
Ellie Soyod. Let's take a second look on that. Good first ball from Isa Molde. Soyod there being targeted.
Alba finds Cici from the left, challenging the blockers of Akari. Soyod answers back, straight to the hands of Tobino. Cici ulit. Soyod with a hit out of her own.
Ellie Soyod taking advantage of the loose block from Choco Mucho. Reverse set from Mitch Cobb. The Kanya late, impressing those hands in.
Early lead here for the Chargers, 3-1 as Ced will serve. That is way off for Ced Domingo, giving a chance here to the Choco Mucho Flying Titans to bounce back. They're down by 1.
For Choco Mucho, they want to collect as many points as they can with Tobino and Rondina on the front row.
Rejection at the net. It's still alive, playable. They send this one over. General bumps this to Royce Tobino. Nandoon si Victoria waiting.
And Choco Mucho just complaining right now because they're saying that it was a double coming from Soyod. The reason why they hesitated as well in that last sequence.
We have CC now talking to our first referee, Mr. Adam
No
Swan.
problem. Only one hand. No hand. Only one hand. It's okay. Please continue. Okay? So let's challenge. Continue. Okay? You... Continue. No. Continue. There is a touch.
So there you have it. Emotions running high here. We heard it from CC telling our first referee she was just asking, but a yellow card is called on Rondina. At any rate, play continues. Rondina denied. Alba reverses to Royce. Good cover. The white shirts have it. Alba finds Royce Sabina from the left pin. Rally ongoing. Alba tries the other side. Little too tight. Still alive. Tobino. Alba to Pecaña. Finishes the rally. 5 points now for Lorraine Pecaña.
Finally, after a couple of attempts for Tobino and CC Rondina, better decision from Alba to activate the middles. Take a look at that one. Pecaña with a great swing and a power tip.
Rondina will serve. They're down by 1. Soyud dug up. Back set to Tobino. Good decision from Royce Sabino. And she's been doing that a lot in today's match, Ayel.
And they've recognized that that donut hole is a weak spot for the Akari Chargers.
We're tied at 4. Good serve from CC. Cobb. Combination play here for Akari. There is a net touch, I believe.
Called on Royce Tobino, transitioning for that block. Again, these are the kinds of errors you want to avoid in the 5th set, especially with how close the score is.
A race to 15 here for both these squads. 14 points now for Gretch Soltones. The toss to Isa goes cross. Adjustment from Ivy. It will go to Ivy Laxina with 17.
Ivy Laxina going for the hands of Tobino there. One-man block, but Tobino could not stabilize to get that at least a rebound on that attack of Laxina.
Crucial service error from Gretch Soltones.
Now from the get-go, you knew that she wanted to go for a power serve. Just too much of a low release for her.
So we like the aggressiveness we're seeing from Choco Mucho here. Very different from what they showcase in the 3rd and 4th sets. Laxina though, talking about aggressiveness. Ooh, but that's gonna say outside. They call it outside. Are they? Yes, they're gonna call a challenge.
Players saying not to call a challenge anymore, but the coaches want to go for this ball-in, ball-out challenge.
We're tied at 6. As of the moment, the cheers from the Choco Mucho Flying Titans fans getting louder here. Pero hindi magpapatalo ang Akari Chargers. Their fans hoping they get this win. After this, syempre, hindi pa nagtatapos ang ating Volleyball Tuesday. We have finals game 1.
We're just starting.
This is the appetizer. We have the Creamline Cool Smashers taking on the Petrogas Angels. Classic rivalry. Let's check this out.
Very clear.
Ball out, unsuccessful for Akari. So good call from the players. But unfortunately, naitaas na yung challenge. We're still tied 6-all. Victoria, she's blocked. Cobb finds Ivy, left pin. Good dive. Tobino with the adjustment, straight to the hands of Gretch. Laxina putting some power into it, turning on the Jets in the 5th set.
Attacking faster that time. Great set coming from Cobb. Going in between the blockers. Love the intensity you're seeing right now from Ivy Laxina.
Akari takes the lead again. Alba to Nunag with a quick one. Laksina, monster block.
A shot down there for Ivy Laksina. Take a look at that one. Royce Tobino getting a kill block.
Says absolutely no entry. We're tied at 7. 18 points now for the veteran, Royce Tobino. Dina to Isa. Laksina finding her way. And what a fifth set we're having right now, Ayel. As we turn it over to Lexi Rodriguez. Go ahead, Lex.
Billy and Ayel, well, you know, it's the final stretch and it's become clear the fifth set is as much about strategy as it is about mental toughness. You know, Coach Dante has steered the team with poise, but right at this time, they really need to focus because the real battle for them isn't just the Chargers. It's fatigue, it's their emotions. His squad has been fighting tooth and nail all conference, even all match long, and the question is whether they can dig deep and find that last spark to push through. On the flip side, Coach Taka Minoa has been encouraging his squad to ride the wave of Ellie Soyud's scorching form. You know, Coach Taka has emphasized that Ellie isn't just a weapon, she's the fire that can carry the team to the victory, as well as Ivy Laksina, who's just been fantastic all this game long, and both are running on adrenaline right now, and this is the moment that will define the match. Back to you, Billy and Ayel.
Thanks for that, Lex. And it is going down to the wire for these two squads who have been battling it out since that first set. 1 point lead now for the Chargers. CC from the back. Easy pickings for Mitch Cobb. Soyud with a power.
Can't have a loose block against Ellie Soyud. You have to establish that one. Timeout, Choco Mucho.
Pasa lang, pasa.
Wala titigil! Wala na titigil! Dalawa lang ha, dalawa lang. Huwag na tayo mapadala. Asa!
Choco Mucho there. A much needed timeout just to regroup, talk things out, and to get their endurance back. Lisa Molde with a check out there. Going high, going long. Keeping it close here.
We have Isa Molde now on deck to serve here for the Flying Titans. Are down by 1 point. Neck to neck in the fifth set. They reverse Ellie Soyud with a drop. Good cover for the Flying Titans. Great defense. This time Laksina goes for the push. Drops outside. It goes to Akari.
Ivy Laksina has been creative here offensively, finding all ways to score a point.
Akari now trying to pull away in the fifth. Dina to Cici. Here comes Gretch. Return to sender. Soyud denied. But I will go to the Akari Chargers. Sails outside.
Choco Mucho has been trying so hard to establish that net defense. Yes, there's always two blockers, but you have to press those hands in because Akari has been getting the hit outs.
20 points now for Ivy Laksina. She has played a big role in this match for the Chargers. Hazareno asking for space. Too tight. They make do, but that will be a violation called on Ellie Soyud. Masyadong malapit. Too tight. Just a 2-point lead. Very doable here for the Flying Titans. We have Descheng checking in. And she goes straight to our service line.
Both teams maximizing their bench here.
Ravenna also in here for the Chargers. Having some defensive power. Crucial service error for Descheng.
That has got to hurt. I mean, Choco Mucho playing catch-up here. They can't afford to give away free PS once more.
It's now a 3-point lead, which is a luxury here in the 5th set. We have
Akari
said Domingo, yep.
playing with more confidence as well.
They're in control. Wong to Pecaña. And she has scored some big points here. Talking about Lorraine Pecaña. This point of the set is brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion.
Block from Victoria. Good point there. Coming from Pecaña.
Solid minutes from Lorraine Pecaña. 6 points for her. 2-point lead. Akari, Mitch to Soyud. Going long again.
Touching the hands of Rondina there. Ellie Soyud really has been big for Akari in this match.
And how smart she's been playing all throughout. 2-point lead, Akari. What is Choco Mucho going to do? They send it to Cici. Too strong for Rondina. And with that, Coach Dante will need to gather the girls. He'll call for time. We gotta listen in.
Okay, isang ikutan tayo, maka-side out na tayo, ha? Masyado na tayo nawawalan ng pag-asa. Hindi pa naman natatapos. Save na tayo, ha? Hindi naman tayo mag-ano dito. Ito yung nakakapatay lagi sa atin, ha? Gaga.
Ay, Choco Mucho!
Coach Dante saying masyado na tayo nawawala ng pag-asa. Choco Mucho has to stay hopeful here and try to still execute, but no room for error as Akari with just 1 point away and taking game 1.
A lot of confidence and composure on the side of the white shirts. Complete opposite here for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. They got to put a little bit more fight into their movements. Alba goes to Cici, and that's what we're talking about. Great response coming from that timeout called by Coach Dante Alensinurin.
And they need to make a run here. This is Rondina on the service line.
Cobb, soft touch from Grecia Soldones, and no cover for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, and Grecia making it look so easy here to finish off our 5th and final set. This Panalo play of the game is brought to you by Yakult. Yakult every day, okay.
That is a reverse sweep for the Akari Chargers. What a way for the veteran to get that point. Simple yet effective.
There were 3 blockers in front of her, maybe expecting her to go for that powerful attack. Does the complete opposite over the blockers, outsmarting the defenders here of the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. That is Grecia Soldones for you. And what a win from the Akari Chargers. Reverse sweep of the Flying Titans. What can you say about this game so far?
No, I mean, for Akari, what an effort, what a shift of momentum for them. They were down 2 sets, but they found their confidence, they found their flow, and they did not look back. Mitch Cobb orchestrating the offense, but that started with a great defense of Hazareno all throughout, but all players coming alive at the right moment. So it was a team effort. More players supporting each other for the Akari Chargers, and for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. It has got to really be a painful loss for them. They were 2 sets up, but they could not sustain.
And the uphill climb continues here for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. But right now, we shine the spotlight here for the Akari Chargers. 24-26, 21-25, 25-15, 25-18, and 15-11. Our set scores. And everybody played so well here for Akari, but there can only be one player of the game, and she is with Lexi Rodriguez. Go ahead, Lex.
Thanks, Billy and Ayel. I'm with the player of the game, none other than with 29 excellent digs, 7 excellent receptions, 60% dig efficiency, none other than Justine Hazareno from the Akari Chargers. Congratulations. What a win, a reverse sweep for you guys. Kamusta? Anong pakiramdam? Of course, the first 2 sets were a bit of a hassle. It was a bit of a trouble for you guys. Ano yung naging turning point nyo during the third set that made things better for you guys?
Sinabi lang namin sa bawat isa na kapitan namin yung set na yon, and then magta-turn around siya if nakuha namin yung set na yon. Yun lang po.
And then ikaw, 60% dig efficiency. What makes you so good? What makes you motivated in every game?
Siguro yung teammates ko, and then syempre yung baby ko na si Austin. Siguro parang wala ito, kailangan namin to para ma-prove namin yung sarili namin sa mga naniniwala sa amin.
And yun nga talaga yung sinasabi ng even the rest of the Chargers, you know, this almost 6-month-long conference, ang dami yung napagdaanan, and you're here, it's the final stretch. What else do you guys need to work on?
Siguro more on communication pa, and kailangan namin ng teamwork pa. Yun lang.
Meron ka bang mga gustong batiin?
Binabati ko po yung family ko sa Bicol, yung Hazareno family, yung Dimaano and Mandado family, si Sir Chris too, yung CEO namin. And then sa mga supporters po ng Akari Chargers, maraming salamat po sa pagpunta. And then yung baby ko si Austin, and yung husband ko si John.
Congrats, Justine. And to the rest of the Akari Chargers, Billy and Ayel, what do we have next?
Thank you so much for that, Lex, and congratulations to the Akari Chargers. Justine Hazareno, elite level, 29 excellent digs, 60% dig efficiency. What a performance from her. Siyempre, hindi pa nagtatapos sa ating Volleyball Tuesday. Up next, we have the finals, a classic rivalry, a showdown between the Creamline Cool Smashers and the Petro Gas Angels. Now, for Ayel Estranero, Lexi Rodriguez, Direct Ken Natividad, and all the men and women behind this production, I'm Billy Capistrano, and this has been the 2025 PVL All-Filipino Conference Battle for the Bronze.